Our next step is going to be to make a mast and sails for our ship, and unusually for this class, it's not going to be made out of Lego. You need to look around your house and see if you can find these supplies. You're going to need at least one sheet of letter-size paper, and you're going to need string or rubber bands or tape. I think tape and string are the most useful things. I couldn't find any tape in my house, so I'm going to use a rubber band for part of mine. And you're going to need two cross pieces. One is the mast, which will stand up in the boat, and then the other is the cross piece that the sail will hang from. For these you could use a chopstick or a wooden skewer. We found wooden dowel rods, even a paintbrush. And what you want to do is make sure that you use the longest thing you can find for the upright mast part. Ideally, you would like your mast to be as tall or nearly as tall as the piece of paper, right? Now, the cross piece, the piece that goes across the mast, can be shorter than that. If you have two long things, use the two long things, like this, like this. But if you don't have two long pieces of wood, even a pencil would work, particularly if you sharpen it at both ends, because that will make it easier to slide the sail onto it. Now, for the sail itself, what we're going to do is you're going to want to fold your piece of paper in half, and this is going to be roughly the size and shape of your sail. At this point you need to check, it depends on what type of wooden cross pieces you have gotten. If you have a wooden cross piece that is longer or as long as this piece of paper, then your sail is going to take up the whole piece of paper. Now, if you're using a pencil, it's going to be a bit shorter than the paper. So you need to think near the ends of your rod are where the holes are going to be, like they're going to be in a little bit. So say here and here would be where the holes for my sail are, right? Whereas if I was using this one, I could have a hole here, and then I could have a hole over here. So that makes a difference as to how big my sail is. Here's an example of a sail I made already that takes up almost the whole of the piece of paper. So you can see the idea. In this case, I'm going to make the shorter sail because it's going to go on the pencil. And I'm going to go around and make like a nice slightly curvy shape, you know, as if the sail is blowing in the wind. And then I'm going to cut that out. Once you've cut out your sail, you should draw whatever you want on it. I'm having red stripes on mine, but you could draw a skull and crossbones on yours, or any other design that you fancy. Now it's time to put the holes in the corners. I'm using a sharpened pencil and pushing it through very, very carefully. You might want to get your grown-up to help you with this, or if you have a hole punch, you could use that. The next step is to attach the two cross pieces together using a piece of string. Put the string on the table underneath the two cross pieces, and then bring the two pieces of string up on either side and cross them over each other. Now you have to hold the cross pieces so that they are a cross shape and wrap one end of the string through between two of the pieces, and then wrap the other end of the string through between the other two pieces. Keep on doing this until you've used up all the string. The more you wrap around it, the solider it will be. And then tie it off at the end. Again, you may need your grown-up to help with this. Once you've finished tying them together, you may need to adjust exactly where they cross over, slide them up and down until they're in the right position, and now you can add the sail on. Now we have to make the mast stand up in the boat. We're going to do this using a stack of 3 2x2 bricks. and we need to stick the mast to a stack of 2x2 bricks. Now, the best thing to use here would be tape, but I don't have any, so I'm going to use a rubber band. So now my mast is attached to my stack of Lego bricks, and I'm going to stick it in toward the front of the boat, because with more things we're going to put at the back of the boat. There we go.